All right, we are live. Can you all let me know if you can hear me all right? We just got to the lake, and again, I've been kind of trying to test out some live stuff here lately. And so I'm also gonna be filming simultaneously today. So I'll be talking to these cameras a little bit, but obviously talking to you. So something I didn't realize is that the same port that I have my microphone attached to my phone is where I charge it. So we're gonna go as long as I can before dying. I'm not exactly sure how long that will be. So we're gonna do a little bit of shallow water fishing today. Should be good. Let me know that you guys can hear me all right. I'm gonna take a look real quick to make sure things are rocked and rolling. So if you guys can hear me, let me know. I should be all good, but really just a couple of primary weapons for us today is we're gonna kind of continue on what we were doing yesterday, which was a little bit of glide bait fishing and probably a lot of float and worm fishing, but I really hope to catch some on the glide. So yesterday, before I decided to go live, I caught one on a glide bait, and then I decided to go ahead, go live, something I don't normally do. And then I never caught another one on a glide bait. We did pick up a floating worm, and I ended up catching a few fish, but my phone died, and I lost you guys. I think you guys saw one fish catch, but that's all good. I only talked to myself for probably 20 or 30 minutes, which I kept talking about me possibly doing. So probably not the best idea for me to do this on the same day that they are doing Bassmaster Live. Obviously I'm going to be not competing, but there's going to be a lot of people's attention on that right now. So, but I want to do a little bit more with live fishing this year, and I'm going to do it probably primarily on the Tyler Berger channel, the one that you're watching right now. And then if things kind of go well, I'll probably transition it over to do some more stuff with BassFishingHQ. So right now though, we are just looking for one big fish. Let me know if you guys can hear me all right, so I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. See, we got a few people jumping on this right now. So probably not the most ideal time to get started. We're here about 10 o'clock. But yesterday we did it around lunchtime, and I think at one point we had about 100 guys, 100 guys and gals watching. So in my opinion, that's pretty good. So I'd really like to get them on the glide bait here, but we don't have a lot of wind in this particular pocket, so I may need to pick up that floating worm. I know the floating worm will catch them. I just would rather catch them on the glide. But a lot of people like to see some fish catches. So we're gonna get started with the glide for a minute here. I'll probably pick up the floating worm momentarily though. Now I actually have changed the position of you guys up a little bit today, so hopefully you can see me a little bit better. See where I'm casting a little bit better. I also have it a lot more secure, so I'm not gonna be quite as worried about you guys flying off and into the water. So we got just a real small short pocket right here. It's actually not where I wanted to start. There's a boat sitting where I really wanted to start fishing. So we'll make our way over there here momentarily, but we'll just let that rest for a little bit. And I don't know how long he'll be fishing there. So I'm actually going to be doing a video on the floating worm here on BassFishingHQ, which is why I'm also filming right now. But this is one of my favorite techniques, and it is almost no matter where you live in the country, if you have a little bit of water clarity, I would say, around 2 foot or more, 1.5 feet, 2 foot. This is just such a really good technique to catch a lot of fish. Now I primarily fish it on a wacky rig, kind of like this. Typical setup, 7 foot, medium power, fast action rod, 10-pound braid to 12-pound fluorocarbon leader, and kind of just a wacky rig zoom trick worm, wacky rig. So that's all it is right now. And just a really good technique, especially when you get into this really calm water like we are right now. Now something that I have done as well is completely turned my electronics off. I don't have any electronics going. This is all, the fish are up in the cover right now, and so it's gonna be really just target fishing for the most part is what I'm concentrating on. So I think if you turn off your electronics, it will help you to get a few more bites. Hope you guys are enjoying your Thursday morning. It's a nice morning. It's a little windy out, although this pocket isn't really showing it. It is a little windy. I know I'm enjoying my morning so far. I wanted to get started first thing this morning, but my son had they do a little chapel service deal, and he was leading it today, so I wanted to go to that this morning. Now, as always, this video and my videos are brought to you guys by Fin Fishing Apparel. Got a little package deal going on for the month of April right now. If you buy a USA made sun shirt like the one I'm wearing right now, I have 11 different colors. You can actually get a pair of the duck shorts for 50% off. So a really good little package deal, and I know you guys at times may be sick of me talking about it. You know, in the fishing space that I'm in, there's really one of two options that you can do as a content creator. You can get a lot of sponsorship and go the sponsorship route and get paid, or you can start a business. And I decided to start a business because the thing about the fishing world is that a lot of companies own multiple different sectors in bass fishing. So not only do they own a lure company, but they own rod and reels, they own this and that. And a lot of those companies want you to be exclusive with them. And one thing I've never wanted to do is be exclusive with a lure company, because I know how many different brands I use. And so for me to always promote one brand, it was just, I wasn't gonna be truthful in that aspect. So it also allows me to be able to test out a lot of the new baits that come to the market, which I really enjoy as well, with being able to put videos out about them and not worry. So if you wonder why I always talk about fin fishing, that's the main deal, because it's either that or I get, you know, paid by some companies to promote their brand, and I'd rather do it this way because it allows me a little bit more freedom with the content that I choose to do. So now I'm not sure of the current water temp. Yesterday we were here mid-afternoon, and it was touching 60, 59, 60 degrees pretty much everywhere I went. I could flip my electronics on for a minute, but from what I saw yesterday, I kind of have a feeling that a lot of these fish are really up inside of these pockets and not spawning yet, but just getting shallow where you can catch them. This is a great time of the year to catch them on a lot of different techniques. But I love this floating worm bite. It's extremely fun. I'm honestly surprised we haven't been bit in that little section we just went through. This is kind of narrow back here, so I might almost have to fish both sides at the same time. I'm gonna make sure that you guys are live and with me real quick, so just hang on. Looks like we are live, which is great. Guys, definitely have to let me know if you enjoy this type of content. So really the big thing that I'm doing here is I'm just kind of working the back of these pockets. Really the middle to the back. Yesterday, the few places I went to, it seemed like I had a lot of fish in that middle zone of like a creek arm. And then when I got into one of the main pockets, there were some fish in the back of it. So I feel as if these fish are really in that second and last third of the creeks. Like I said, really getting ready to spawn and positioning to spawn. Now the water in here is just a touch off color. It shouldn't affect this bite too much, although I do think that this floating worm bite kind of excels and does best in good water clarity. Like when you got 2-3 foot, they can just see it for forever away, and they will come from forever away to eat it. Just trying to be very quiet right now. The whole deal with this thing is, if you guys notice, I'm visibly able to see this worm the entire time I'm working it. Just pop it 2-3 times and then let it, when you kill it, it has the slowest Cinco-esque fall that you can get in a bait, where it slowly sinks down and those, the ends of the worms just kind of slowly go back and forth, and man, it drives them insane at times. I'm actually surprised we hadn't got bit. Now, I'm not really able to see the chat this morning. I am gonna peer back there in just a minute, pretty much to make sure that you guys are still live. And I'll look at if there's any questions that pop up, so. We're getting pretty far back here though. And getting pretty shallow right now as far as the water goes. Come on, fish. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Nice thing about YouTube is you really never know. I mean, I get guys that comment from South Africa and Italy, North, South, I mean, a little bit of everywhere, which is really cool. Really thought we would have got one through that little stretch right there. Like I said, not where I really wanted to start, but I've caught them right through here in the past, so. We're gonna turn the boat around here. See if I can't get hung up on a log. I might pick that glide bait back up. That was not a good skip. All right, I'm gonna make sure you guys are rocking and rolling with me. Rocking and rolling. Looks like it. We got 21 of you guys. Welcome. See if we can catch us a big one. Where's my glide bait? It is kind of still morning time, so even though we don't have a lot of wind, I could still see me catching one on this glide bait, just because they should be a little bit more active this morning. But yesterday, the fish that I caught on it, I mean, it was dead slick calm, and he engulfed it. I mean, he really wanted the bait. This little stretch right in here. It's like a little pocket right here. Gosh, that looks good. Should be one right there. Big deal with the glide bait is, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but I think a lot of anglers get a little concerned that they are working the glide bait wrong. And I think when you get around a fish that wants to eat a glide bait, it doesn't really matter how you work it. It's really the size profile, which is what draws their attention to the bait so much. And so, you know, the bait that I'm using right now is a Berkeley chop block. It's 8 inches. It acts a lot like a resin glide bait. And that's why I like it so much, because I feel like they usually get these baits, the softer baits, just better. But I'm really just I'm almost working it a lot like a spook style bait, where I'm just twitching it back and forth. You know, basically walking the dog, bam, 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 bam. But every now and then, about every two or three twitches, I'll kill that bait, and it'll turn around on itself. And a lot of times, if a bass is following it, that can be a little cue for it to come up there and eat it. It doesn't have to be a long pause. I just kind of bam, 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 just like that. So now again, this is a very choppy-esque bait. There are a lot of glide baits where you want to, you're wanting big S-type curves to it. And this one can give you a little bit of a wide glide, but it's not really designed for that. Oh gosh. And just like yesterday, you guys will see me make some errors. I'm definitely not a perfect angler when it comes to that. A lot of times when I fish a glide bait, I get into sections of the lake and places where I'm really casting it a long distance, but I like to really target fish these baits where you're pretty close to it the whole time. All right, so what we're gonna do is, you can see I'm in a pocket, but I'm in the main creek here, and I'm gonna go down a section. Oh, it looks like this boat actually moved. Hang on just a minute. We might troll over to a little section quick. Are you guys still with me? You guys are still there. I'm gonna just make my way quickly over to a little section over here. So just bear with me for a moment. A little bit of wind over on that section too, so it might be good for the glide. Might as well hit a couple high percentage zones quick. All right. Hope you guys got your morning coffee going. Well, it's 10 o'clock, so you probably already drank it. I know I could go for coffee. I don't know about you guys, but I love coffee. Good black coffee. I'm trying not to become like a 4-cup-a-day guy, but I feel like I get closer and closer all the time. You guys watching Bass Live this morning at all? I obviously am not, but I would be trying to. All right, what do you guys want me to fish over here? Pretty much I'm sticking either to the glide bait or I'm sticking to the floating worm. The floating worm will probably get me, I know it will get me more fish in the boat, but I feel like I could catch a big one on the glide right now. So what do you guys want to know? I'm gonna come back and look at the comments real quick. So just give me a moment. You thinking glide? You think floating worm? Let's see, I don't even know how to look at the comments. Thought they just popped up. Who knows? All right, we'll do a little bit of both. I'm gonna start with this floating worm. This section right here is, you can see there's a little bit of wind up there. Once we hit that wind, I'll pick up that glide. Try to get us one in the boat real quick to get started. Yesterday it took us an hour, so don't want you guys to be waiting forever. Although I know a lot of you guys enjoy the just watching someone fish. So little shallow water, spring, no scope, no electronics. We are just trying to catch us some shallow water bass. There's honestly a number of different baits you could use right now. Like I could see you catching them on a chatterbait. I could see you catch them on a number of different baits. Just a standard wacky worm. You could probably pitch a Texas rig up on the bank. But I like to draw them out like this. I got a little stick on my bait. Came off. I really want to take my time, but at the same time, I want to cover some water. I've caught them through here before, so I gotta imagine there's some fish around. I might pick up like a mag draft style bait here in a minute too. We got us a dead kitty cat. What is that? Looks like a bullhead. Oh, there's one on that bait. Gosh, that's a big one right there. Is that fish on a bed? Just had like about a 2.5 pounder come out on that bait. Let's see something here. I was trying to look at the dang. Usually they don't follow that worm. Usually they just eat it. But let's see if he's intrigued by a glide. Nope. I don't even know where he went. Don't even know where he went. That's a good sign. That's the first fish we've at least seen. This section over here is a touch cleaner than where we just were, which should be good. We got a little bit of chop. We got a little bit of cleaner water. These techniques that I'm fishing right now are just cleaner water stuff. If this water was off color, it'd be spinnerbait, chatterbait, buzzbait, frog even. Come on, fish. Surprised that that one just followed it. Again, a lot of times with the floating worm, you are just working it fast below the surface and just killing it. Killing it every now and then. Doot, 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 kill. Doot, 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 kill it. Pop, 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 kill it. Toosh, that's when they get it. And it is typically a ferocious strike, or you will just kind of see the bait disappear. The exciting thing about this way of fishing too is that because it's a clear water deal, because it's so visual, a lot of times you see that whole fish. And so the number of like 3 to 5 pounders, when they just come up and get it, man, it's like there's just something about it. Your heart races. It's very similar to like fishing a glide bait up shallow, where it's just a very visual deal. You see it all go down. And tell you what, I might pick up that glide bait. As a matter of fact, I kind of want to use the more albino colored one as opposed to what I've been throwing. Although this water's clear, we got a little bit of wind, we got a little bit of clouds. And there's a boat way back in there. But I need to be able to put this hook back on this bait. And they're kind of hard to do with a all right. So we're gonna make a switch. We just got a little bit of wind. Actually, we got a decent amount of wind, which should be good. Hopefully my audio is still good. I'm switching from kind of the more natural colored, I don't know what color this is, almost a sexy shad, to more of that albino colored. I think it's just gonna allow those fish to seed a little bit better in the clouds. And hopefully we We got a big section here that's pretty good wind on it. We got fish moving up like this. This should be the deal. So I don't know how many bites though. We're not on the lake where you're gonna go out and catch a ton on them. I might, like if I got 1 or 2 bites through here on this, I would be pretty pumped. There is a chance where you just hit that section and there's a lot of them. But there we go. Fish a little glide bait. I'm gonna check to make sure you guys are still with me, still live. You guys are still there. All right, let's catch us a big one. Nice thing is I can see that bait way easier. I'm talking way easier. I can see it easier, the bass can see it easier. Sometimes you can go too like opaque at times. If you're dealing with super clear water, still conditions, sometimes you can go just too opaque of a bait. You really want almost a translucent, natural colored bait. But I feel like this is a prime and good time to pick up this albino colored. Gosh. I pick this up and my heart immediately starts racing. If you guys were watching yesterday at the very end of the day, well, not the very end, well, towards the end, I had a fish. I caught the fish off camera on this, and then I had a fish actually bust this thing on the surface, which was a pretty cool bite, but I missed it. I totally overcompensated. I should have just kept working the bait, and I just set the hook. Look like a fool, act like a fool, and I had full results. The water's actually really clear in here. Compared to that little pocket we were just in, there's quite a bit of clarity in here. All right, let's get us a big one. Come on, fish. So again, if you guys are just tuning in, I've got a Berkeley chop block on right now. And I really like this bait. Coming in a little hot. I'm gonna put my Raptors down, because I can pretty much target this whole pocket real quick. So we're gonna just come on, fish. So again, with this bait, it's just twitch, 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 kill, twitch, twitch, kill, twitch, 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 twitch. Pretty much all the way to the back of the boat, or to the boat. It's nice that I can see this bait a lot further than I could see that other one. When you get in a rhythm with a single bait, at times it doesn't matter being able to see it. but it is nice to be able to see it and work it the way you kind of want to work it. But the only problem with seeing it is that sometimes you get those mega strikes on it, and it's almost hard to not pull it away from them. You really just kind of feel them with your rod before you set the hook. Oh, that was a bite right there. Dadgummit. See if he'll come up and eat that. I don't think he was very big. He just came up and kissed it. I couldn't really see the fish, but I just felt it, and I seen my bait just go poof, like to the side. So it may have been pretty small, but dadgummit. He at least ate the bait though and didn't follow it. Yesterday we had a lot of followers, or he tried to hit it. So try not to really move the boat or touch the trolling motor. I can almost fish this whole little pocket from this one spot. Just trying to be as stealthy as possible. Try not to drop my rod. Oh, dadgummit. Come on. All right, we're gonna keep on keeping on here. I probably need to have a little bit faster pace because I don't know how long my iPhone battery is gonna stay alive. And really, in order to have decent audio, I can't plug in my camera, or my phone. Hopefully that wind isn't getting too bad to that audio. I don't have my little thing that helps block that wind a little better. Come on, fish. Show us. Boom! Did you see that? I was getting ready to come back and look, and a bass followed that all the way up to the boat. All right, we're gonna bust one on this. Both of those fish were a lot more aggressive than those fish yesterday, besides the one that ate it. So I think that little color change is just allowing them to see it. That fish followed that all the way up to the boat. Now, interesting thing that I noticed about that fish, we talked about this yesterday, but sometimes during this time of the year, specifically when you are fishing in cleaner water, is that you're gonna have days where those bass are right up on the bank. Yesterday, that's how the fish were positioned. We were here a little bit later in the day, and that water was probably a little bit warmer. And those fish will be sitting in the little shade pockets, you know, right there on the bank. That fish was, he didn't come up until right there next to the boat. So a lot of times what those fish will do before they actually move up to spawn is they will just hang in a little bit deeper water right next to their spawning ground. So like I'm probably only in 8 foot of water, you know, I don't know exactly. And those fish will be out here and they'll just be hanging in that, you know, that 5, 6, 7 foot zone, especially in clear water. In dirty water, they seem to just kind of get on the bank. But in clear water, it seems like they will hang off that bank and just kind of wait. Now, sometimes if you have a bank that is more rock, you can just throw a crankbait and catch those fish cranking. Here, you're not going to be able to throw a crankbait. Really, one of the best baits to use is some sort of swim bait. Hopefully that one's not too bad for you guys. I apologize for the wind. Got us a nice looking laydown coming up. But I have fished this stretch that I'm on right now before, and I have never caught a fish on it. I don't know if it's a type of tree it is. I don't know what it is. I just have never caught one on it. Maybe today's the day. If you're just joining in with us, good morning. We are fishing a highly pressured body of water today, highly pressured. And we got no electronics on. We got, we're really just trying to be as stealthy as we can. And I know that there's fish that are shallow. I don't think there's a huge majority of the fish that are shallow yet. But we're gonna fish. Hung that right into that side. This is a type of spot would probably be good to pick up a jig and flip in there. I might do that. But we're trying to catch this one, trying to catch us a big one. I really want to be throwing this glide bait. I mean, but again, in these type of fisheries, you're not going to get tons of bites on them. I'm not dealing with 6s and 7s. I'm dealing with 2s to 4s, maybe a 5. And we do have a boat up ahead, and it's kind of weird to talk when they're here. See who's all there. Still got some people. So forgive me if I'm a little bit silent. I do just want to catch one. The bad news is I'm fishing a lot of history right now, which really makes you fish slower than you probably should. Now, if this was a new body of water that I've never been to, my pace would be a lot different. Come on, fish. We might have to go back to that pocket we were in yesterday where we had quite a few opportunities. Ooh, it just had another freaking follower right there. All right, our wind died a little bit, or at least it's cut off right here. So I'm gonna pick this guy back up, try to put a fish in the boat for y'all. That fish that I just had right there was very similar deal to what I was just talking about though. He came up on the bait, you know, 15 feet off the shoreline. That wasn't a great cast. So sometimes they're just hanging a little bit deeper. Sometimes it doesn't make a difference. But it's always a good reason to work your bait all the way back to the boat. Just put the Raptors down for a minute. Guys, I got the wind kind of pushing my back here. And I don't want to drift into this stuff. I shouldn't fish it so slow though. Something little just tagged that. Got a boat up here, so I'm gonna go around them real quick. Which way this guy's going. You guys heading back in that way? Over here? Okay. I didn't want to skip ahead if you were turning back that way, so. You guys catching them pretty good? Yeah. I actually don't even have them turned on right now. I saw a couple of big schools still in really deep water yesterday, but yeah, there was quite a few of them. But I'm sure there's some obviously back here. But
Are the bass picking up at all?
yeah, they're starting to. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck to y'all. All right, we are making our way to the back of this deal. And I will say that yesterday, if I'm comparing it to those fish yesterday, there was a group of them that I kind of saw in the middle pocket or the middle of the creek, and then there was a group at the back. Because I went through a couple of really good sections where I kept saying, man, I don't think they're back here. And then when I got to the very back, we started seeing some, and a couple of good ones. So there might be a couple of different waves. So we're gonna work this back. Not super slow. I really need to fish faster, but I've just caught them so good in here before. I do need to make sure that I keep working this bait all the way out, because that's where those glide bait followers has been out. Even though yesterday they seemed like they were like right on the bank, but it may have just been that they got there later in the day, even though it wasn't much later. Good morning, everyone. I do appreciate y'all being here. I know you could probably be watching Bass Live right now. Probably a lot of you that are at work. And I guess technically I'm at work, but you know how it is. Guys will have to let me know if you enjoy the lives. I think I might find a way to just live stream when I do the lake break type videos, but just live stream them as well. But I'm trying to debate if I want to do that, because it kind of gives away obviously what happened. But you know, if it's an 8-hour live stream, not everyone's going to sit there and watch the whole time. Come on, fish. I cannot believe we hadn't tagged one yet. Probably a good spot to pick up the old flip stick right here. Or a swim jig. We are currently fishing a floating worm which when I say floating worm, just so you guys know, like this worm does not float. It is a Zoom trick worm, which have salt in it. They're probably 10 or probably 15% salt in these baits. That's a complete guess. There might be a little bit of sand in them too. So they sink, but the technique is called floating worm, where you're really fishing this bait in that first foot of the water column. You can fish it a little deeper at times, but most of the time it is very shallow water fishing. One of my favorite ways to catch them. And usually it's a big numbers getter. Usually you can go through these pockets and catch you 5 or 6. I don't know. I'm already a little confused because it seemed like yesterday I went through a pocket and I would have told you this is what would have happened. And then we went through another big area and I seen a lot of fish. So maybe it was just that particular section or that particular pocket had a lot more fish moved up, because right now the way that I'm feeling is that a lot of these fish aren't moved up. But we just keep fishing. Keep fishing, try to figure it out. Now what do we got there? Thought I saw bass on that big rock, but that is not a bass, I don't think. Whew, man, it feels like the weather changed. As much wind, we're just getting in the back of this little section though. Come on. Come on, fish. Check to make sure you guys are still alive. Still alive. We're growing an audience. Hopefully y'all are enjoying your morning so far. I don't know how far back in here I want to get, but like I said yesterday when we were fishing, I really didn't feel like there was fish back far. And then we got in the far back and I seen a big one and I had one bite my glide bait. And then I ended up catching one and they were all pretty much in that back 1/3. I gotta imagine what's happening in that pocket should be happening here, but something about it, this feels a little different right now. Just feels a lot more dead. Now there have been more boats in here, although we did see a couple yesterday too. Come on. This is kind of the lot more sun on this bank right here, so that shady bit side might position them a little bit more. This is why fishing history can mess you up sometimes. You fish too slow in an area, you've caught them in the past, You're trying to duplicate it. Sometimes there's just a little differences. I think what we're gonna do is make our way to that pocket we ended the day in yesterday for a little bit. See if we can't get us one in there. That wasn't gonna work. Come on, fish. Kicking up the mud now. It is just a beautiful spring morning though. Just feels like spring. Oh my gosh. Dude, I hate when, how come it always happens like that? Like I feel like I kicked my trolling motor on the exact worst time. Because I just had a fish shoot out and it was a good one. It was a 2 1/2, 2 3/4 shoot out, and my freaking puff of dust hit him. You gotta be kidding me. I doubt you guys could have seen that. That fish was really dark in color though. So, kind of makes me feel like these fish are, I think there's a group that have just been shallow. And there's probably a group that are just making their way back still. That's all very shallow water up in there. Like I'm already kicking up a ton of mud. So if you're wondering why I'm not going back in there, that's why. So we're gonna spin the boat around and we're gonna probably work this pocket pretty quick on this side. Unless I get bit. I feel like I'm just not around a bunch of them right now. Because usually when you're around them, with this deal, they show themselves a lot and you catch them a lot. This pocket also has probably been getting hammered. I mean, it ain't no secret. And I've already seen 4 boats in here. Man, I wish I would have not hit the trolling motor right then. Come on, fish. Let's pick up the old glide. Right into a tree. Gonna pick up the pace a little bit here. Work our way out of this pocket. I normally don't have near as much success over on this side during this time of the year. I think it's just because it's the shadier side. The fish aren't spawning on this side primarily. Later in the year, it can be a little bit better though, or even post-spawn. Although I've caught a couple decent ones in the pre-spawn. That guy looks like he's wearing a fin shirt up there. I think that is a fin shirt. Almost positive. That is a fin shirt. I'm almost positive. That's a nice sun shirt you got on there. I appreciate that. Yeah, pretty close, yeah. Just a couple of followers. So there's some back here for sure, but haven't caught any yet, so. Yeah, about the same. Well, good luck to y'all. Appreciate the support. That's pretty cool. Guy wearing a fin hoodie over there. Very cool. All right, we are going to, I think, make our way down the lake and back into that pocket. I was fishing yesterday. I probably should just fish this stuff real quick. Just give it a couple of casts. I could definitely see it's a little bit deeper bank. Could definitely be a pre-spawn female just hanging out, waiting to go up. So speaking of fin shirts, guys, again, buy a USA Made Sun shirt right now. You can get a pair of the duck shorts for 50% off. So, dude, there is boats all over this deal. I wonder if it's just that much pressure in here right now. It's a Thursday. I think these people will be at work, but they're probably wondering the same thing about me. All right, we are going to make a little bit of a change. I'm gonna pull you guys down. Make sure you're still there. Try not to lose you. We are going to make a little bit of a run real quick to a spot. Probably go to that pocket we were in yesterday where we saw quite a few fish. See if we can't catch one in there. There is, including myself right now, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boats in here, and we saw 2 other ones. So, is what it is. Some guys are crappie fishing. Hang on just a moment, guys. I think I can flip you. See if I can look at, I don't know how to look at comments on this thing. How the heck do I do that? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to look at my dang chat. Must be nice, feels like spring, there we go. Ice is now melting. Hey, that's awesome, dude. Glad the ice is melting for y'all. If you live up in the northern part of the country, there's another boat. So that's 6 boats, 7 or 8 that have been in here. So we're gonna make our way into that pocket we ended the day yesterday and see if we can't get bit in there before my phone dies again. How's it going? What up, Tyler? Was out there, oh, what did he say? Was out there on Monday. Thank you for the live. Heck yeah. The live is fun to do. I love this lake. This is this is probably my favorite lake. It's also the lake that I live on, so I'm very close. And I primarily fish for smallmouth out here. We're not gonna do a whole lot of that today though. We're gonna primarily focus on the largemouth fishing, which might make some of the largemouth guys frustrated. I can't decide if I'm gonna run back to that pocket where I know there's fish or go to a different one though. I might hit a few short pockets real quick. Let's do that. Let's hit a couple of short pockets and then we'll make our way into that big one. So hang on just a moment here. real quick run. Nobody's in this pocket. All right, I saw in the chat there as I was running, somebody asked what glide bait colors you should get. I think the number one that you should get is like an albino type color, or like a bone color. A lot of the best glide bait fishing happens in a little bit cooler water, and sometimes if you see a shad in really cold water, it has like a film almost over it, like an opaque film. And that's why I think that albino works so good. Now, if you fish really, really gin clear water, you're gonna wanna go with something that's either natural or maybe a little bit more translucent. But let's go ahead, put you guys back up here. See if I can't mess this up. All right, we are back to fishing. I did not end up going back to that pocket where we caught them, or where we had some fish fall yesterday. There's a couple of like really short pockets that they take me 10 minutes to fish. And they all get pressure, but I feel like they get a little bit less pressure than some of the main pockets on this body of water. So I'm gonna hit a couple of real short pockets before we make our way into there. And see what happens. I'd really like to catch them on this glide bait. I think that a little bit of wind would help, which it is windy out here today. If I get on the other side of the lake in a couple of pockets, we might have a little bit better glide bait conditions because of the way that this, because of the direction that this wind is coming out of. But I'm really just kind of focusing on a lot of pockets. Water is around 60. Last I checked, well, this was yesterday. Maybe I'll flip that on and check, but 59, 58, 60 degrees. So you have a lot of fish that are just moving up shallow. You know, these fish will move shallow pretty much right away, but I feel like you start to get a really good population of fish in the lake shallow when that water's hitting 60, and you can even have some spawning activity happen during that time. So just gonna try to catch us either some glide bait fish or some floating worm fish. Should probably check to see how much battery I got left on my phone. Because yesterday my phone died and the stream like just ended abruptly, and then the actual live stream feed went into the, I don't know where it went for like a couple of hours. And then I literally made a post about it saying I didn't know where it went. And like within minutes it was on YouTube again. So come on, fish. But as far as swim bait colors, glide bait, that would be the ones that I would recommend to whoever asks that. Go with your white or albino color like this one. and or like a bone, and then probably a translucent color. Those colors are gonna suit you well. If I'm fishing muddy water to stained water, I'm gonna be doing a lot of the albino bone white colors. Sometimes in the real clear water, they like it as well. And then if I'm fishing, but a lot of times when I'm fishing real clear water, it's that kind of translucent shad type color. I also think a bluegill color is not a terrible one to have because there's a bass on that right now. Little bass, a little 2-pounder. Just came out of there. It's interesting because in that other pocket we had the clear water and windy conditions, and we had 2 or 3 fish pretty much clobbered the thing. Over here, I decided to throw it because I just wanted to catch one on it so bad. And immediately had a real slow follow, an inspection follow. He wasn't really interested in eating it. He just was trying to figure out what it was. And when we were in the wind and when we were in the clear water, there was no thinking, there was just reacting. So because of that, that's probably why I'm gonna fish this floating worm in here a little bit more. I'd like to throw that big bait, but although the floating worm hadn't been doing it for me this morning either. I don't know if you guys listened a couple days ago, I was talking about a phase that the bass go through that you don't really hear a lot, which is like, it's a post pre-spawn phase. Like the fish really will feed hard in the pre-spawn a lot of times as they're kind of getting ready to set up on beds. But as soon as they are kind of, I feel like, fed up and ready to go, they transition to this phase where they're in shallow water, but they're like, they're good to go. And when that happens, it's like it can get a little tough. And I feel like that is the situation that we're in right now. Like these fish are just about to spawn and they're not feeding up super hard. Dadgummit. We had that big bass come out at the very back of that pocket. I felt like that was the only fish that was about to eat this worm, and then he turned away because I had just hit the trolling motor and my dust cloud, because we were in such shallow water, came up and hit him basically, and he's turned around. Not ideal. Getting to be pretty shallow water right now. These fish will get in it though. Man, I don't know what it is. Besides them kind of feeling like they're in that weird phase. Let's make sure you guys are still hanging around. Someone said there was a volume issue. Can you all hear me all right? Can you guys hear me okay? I think my mic is on. Should be working. Click the veil over. Just seems like, I don't know. I really don't understand if it was just that one little area, because it has just seemed a little bit dead in some of these pockets as far as life goes. We're gonna quickly make our way out of this one. The nice thing about some of these short pockets is they take just a few seconds to fish. And I'm telling you, when the fish are really doing this good, you can usually pull in here, catch one or two, go to the next one, catch one or two, go to the next one, catch one, catch four. They don't seem to be at their best right now. Maybe I need to switch up. Kind of just fishing my way up to the mouth of this pocket just to make sure I'm not missing any fish that might be moving in. Trying to hit kind of the prime targets. Best looking little logs, stumps, anything like that. We're gonna make our way. There's another pocket right on the other side of this one. We're gonna hit it quick. Usually when they're in this one, they're in that one though. And when they're not in this one, they're not in that one. All right, give me just a minute. We're gonna idle over there. Just gonna leave you guys at the top. So it'll just take a second. All right. Check to make sure you guys are still there. Sound is fine, thanks. NASCAR man AP. All right, we are hitting another quick pocket real quick. Quick pocket, quick. I've been kind of focusing on that middle to back, but I'm gonna quickly burn. We got a little bit of wind hitting right through here. So let's fish this glide through here quick. And then I'm not concerned. I'm just, I'm blown away by not catching any on that float quite yet. Is this view or angle a little bit better than it was yesterday? For those of you who were here yesterday, you have to let me know. For those of you just tuning in, I am doing a little, really kind of like it's pre-spawn fishing, but these fish are really close to the spawn. Really close. I have not seen any on beds. It wouldn't surprise me to see one on beds. I gotta imagine the next moon that we have, there's gonna be a big push of them. But I'm primarily fishing two different things today. Two different things I've had a lot of success on, which might be my issue because I haven't boated a fish, but I've had some good success with glide baits and floating worms. And I still think they'd eat it. I don't know that I've been around them yet. You know, yesterday, the very first pocket we went into, I caught one, but then it was like completely dead after that. And that's basically how it has felt here. Just a little bit more on the dead side. Oh my gosh, there's one. That's a good one too. That's a big one. There we go, bait. Freaking glide bait. Ooh. I mean, come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Look at what we got here. Dude, I am telling you, that sucker, he wanted that in a big way. There we go. Now we are cooking, dude. I'm gonna try to keep him from bleeding. Solid fish though, right there. I mean, he came up and absolutely crushed that thing. So, did you like that? Is that good for you this morning? I'm enjoying it. Finally got bit. So, let's try to keep this fish from bleeding. Come right in close to the gill. Here we go. That's probably a 3-pounder. How do you guys like that? Are you guys even live? Probably not. We're live. All right, just got our first fish. Solid fish. Let's weigh him real quick, and we're gonna get him back in. And I don't know if you guys could see that bite, but like I was just kind of saying, when they want to eat a glide bait, it doesn't matter how you're working it. Oh, that's way bigger than I thought. 363. He's long, man. So 363, first fish, very solid fish. This is a lake that takes, you know, I'd say 15 to 16, 17, 19 pounds to win a lot of tournaments. So very solid fish, the ones that you want. That's what I was hoping to do with the glide baits. So heck yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm gonna let that guy go. Oh, I'm talking juices flowing. Juices flowing. Now again, caught that guys on, look, I am not sponsored by Berkley, but in my opinion, I think that this is probably the best easy way to get into glide bait fishing. A Berkley chop block. It's a $20, $24 lure. I like the 8-inch version. And I know that $20 or $24 is not inexpensive for a lure, but it is for a glide bait. And these baits, I've caught a lot of fish on, man. Have a ton of confidence. That fish, the thing that's nice about the chop block is that they suck in the whole thing. That fish completely sucked that bait in sideways. Like it was gone in a blink of an eye, which is a little bit more difficult with a hard, resin style glide bait. But golly, was that sweet. Oh my gosh, dude. That's the freaking bite I've been waiting for. Oh, that's the thing with glides. That's the thing that that's the thing that makes you addicted to it, where it becomes a problem. You look at some of the guys on the Elite Series who like really are good at this bait, guys like Carl Jacobson, guys like Chris Zaldane. They're very good with this bait, and you see them get locked in to it at times where it hurts them. And that's the reason. Bites like that. That fish came up and ate it so crazy that it's just easy to get locked into wanting to throw it. Because if you can get around 5 fish like that over the course of an 8-hour day, which seems very doable, then you're gonna have what you need in a lot of tournaments, and you're giving yourself a great opportunity to catch like a giant. So if you can catch 3 or 4 good ones and then catch you a big one, you're set. So that's the thing. That's probably the most difficult thing about learning a glide bait is actually learning when to put it down. I don't really have optimal conditions for it right now, which is why we've had a ton of followers. But that fish, I mean, just, gosh, did he want that thing. I hope I got that on this GoPro. Dadgummit. So what do you guys want me to throw now? This guy or the floating worm? Gosh, it's gonna be hard to put it down. What do you want me to throw? Floating worm or the glide? Let's see what you guys are saying. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome. Just doing a little fun springtime fishing right now. Man, that sucker, he just wanted it. That's the type of fish that you're not gonna work this thing a wrong way. And that's the secret about a glide, is that it just has the ability to make a fish not think. They see something big, they see something that they know they can get a meal really quick that's gonna sustain them for the rest of the day. Sometimes it just causes them to not think. They just go up there and crush it. That's exactly what just happened. Just wish our conditions were a touch better. We might run to a pocket that's got some wind in it next. The other thing that's really nice about the glide bait is you just, if you're not catching them, you're usually seeing them. So it can really allow you to find areas quick, because you're going to draw out a lot of fish. Oh my gosh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh. That was not as big, but man, he just sucked in the bottom. I felt it through my rod like a freaking. Oh man, that was. All right, we might just be locking this thing in our hand. I feel like if we get around one, they'll eat. Now that I say that, we're gonna have a ton of followers. Gosh, dude. Wonder if that one was on the bed. Not a big one. That one was probably a 2, but he came up there and just corked that thing. It's like a complete poof in my rod, which is what forced me to set the hook. Got a log hanging over our prime little spot. Gets very shallow back here. It's also very rocky. It's just weird how these pockets are right now. A lot of times when they go, you can catch them in every single one. But right now it's like they're either in them or not at all. About to get attacked by a goose. Shimony. Why they gotta be like that? Gosh, that was a fun eat. I'm still thinking about that eat. All right, we're gonna make our way out quick. And I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go to the other side of the lake where there's a little bit more wind. And we're going to fish in that wind. There's a very specific pocket I'm thinking about right now that I think could have them. And then after we fish there, I'm gonna check right now in a minute here to see if you guys, I'm not sure how close my phone is to dying. I don't have a way of plugging it in while also plugging my mic in. I need to find a, I'm sure that they make a splitter type deal online. So I'm gonna have to get one of those if I wanna do more lives. That way I can just keep you guys on all the time. But it might just become a straight glide deal because that was a lot of freaking fun, man. The other thing about it is that there's just still a lot of anglers who are very not confident in fishing glide baits. I mean, some of the most very experienced anglers that you fished against. So when you go into some of these pockets, the fish just hadn't seen them. Even still, even as well known as the glide baits are, even though almost everyone owns one, you just get caught into situations where you want to pick up a wacky rig or a flipping bait, a Texas rig. For those of you guys wondering what equipment I'm fishing this chop block on, again, it's an 8-inch chop block. So there's I believe they make a 6, an 8, a 10. I can't remember if they make a bigger one, like a 12. But this particular setup is maybe a little bit underkill, if anything. It's a 7-foot 6-inch medium heavy power fast action rod. Arc actually makes this same rod in a heavy power. I just don't own one. That's probably the perfect rod for this particular bait. But this one does just fine. And so, I've caught a lot of fish on it, so I'm very confident in it. The thing that you deal with a little bit when you fish in Ohio and you're dealing with a lot of 2-pound fish is that when you set the hook on a fish, you can lose a lot of them because of how small they are. When you set the hook on them, those fish will come flying out of the water and you lose them because of that. If you guys remember when they went to the Sabine River last year, or a year or two ago maybe, that was one of the biggest issues guys has, because you set the hook, that fish comes out of the water, starts skipping across the surface, and then you lose them. So because of that, sometimes I go with a little bit lighter, like slightly lighter action and lighter power rods, because when I set the hook on a 2-pounder with a heavy power, fast action rod, he's coming out of the water and I could lose him. Now I fish a lot of tournaments, and so therefore I do not want to lose them, or I do not want to get hung in a freaking log. But that's pretty dang shallow. So you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you have to be a little bit lighter when fishing with a lot of small fish that are actually meaningful. And this is where we're having my stomp switches would have been a lot more useful. All right, you guys still there? You guys are still with me. Appreciate y'all. Again, you guys are looking for some, if you guys are looking for some apparel to wear, don't forget to check out Fin Fishing. That is my apparel company. And like I said earlier, like there's 2 ways to do this content game. You can either get sponsored and plug other people, or you can start a business. I decided to go that route so that I could really just kind of concentrate on showing you guys everything I could without plugging a bunch of different sponsorships. So I'm gonna pull you guys down and we're gonna run across the lake to a windy pocket that hopefully we can get bit on with that glide bait. So I'm gonna pull you guys off real quick and we are gonna start running. I'm gonna flip you guys around here just momentarily. Hang on just a minute. That glide bite was sweet. Heck yeah, it was, dude. Ohio Bass Guru, how you doing, man? Heard you were out here the other day. She wanted it. Sometimes you just run into days where they all want it like that, but we're gonna run into another pocket real quick. I can see the chat momentarily, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot them over. Check to see how much. Okay, I got 16% battery, just so you guys know. So what I might do is unplug. I might unplug my audio for a minute and get my phone charged so I can keep the live going for a little. But the audio's gonna suck. All right, so what I'm gonna do, guys, I am going to, hey, it's belting in the water, belting in the water, still in 60 spot. C-rig jig, yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unplug my audio for a minute to let my phone charge. The audio is gonna kind of suck, but that way I can keep this live going for a little bit longer. And we'll fish this pocket here, and it's got wind. It's exactly what I wanted it. We got wind throughout the whole thing. So I'm gonna glide through this, and hopefully we can find them. So hopefully we can go to catching. All right, guys. Like I said, audio is not going to be as crisp, so it's going to be a little bit more fishing and less talking. But my phone is about to die, so if I want to keep this thing going, I'm going to keep it going for this pocket, and then I'll probably shut the live down for the day. But I do appreciate all of you guys who have joined in, and hopefully you catch me. One thing different about this pocket is that we have less clarity. Which I don't think is necessary. We'll see. Still there. We're out here throwing a chop block glide bait. Not looking for a lot of bites, but we like the few that we might get. Got one bite on it so far. haven't had a single follower back here. Yeah. I'm on that old trailer there. Woo. Yeah, that was freaking fun. I was not paying attention to my bait at all. That sucker came up there and corked it, man. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. That's a little meatball, isn't it? What do you think? Not as big as the other one, but still a little meatball. Let me see if you guys are still alive. Still alive. We got us glide bait bite number 2. Well, fish number 2. We've had several bites. He's probably a 1, I don't know, 171. Or a little bit fatter this time of year. 176. You were close. So, nice little fish. Came up there and crushed the glide. So, God. Is that not fun? That's the nice thing about, you know, the glide bait stuff. And also, that's kind of why I think that this is one of the best glide baits to get started, is that you can go out and catch your little pound and 70, you know, 170s. So even if you fish a lot of ponds with small bass in it, I'm telling you, they will come up and nail this thing. That was fun. Did you guys enjoy that? Did you might have seen that bite more than I did. I'm not sure. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Literally hit right at the we're getting really shallow water back here, so. You guys love that bite? About as far as I can go. Alright, we're gonna make our way back up the side here, and then I'll probably, once get towards the mouth, I'll probably shut you guys off for the day. But I appreciate you all hanging with me. Hopefully we've enjoyed it too. Probably better than working. Biggie. Biggie just came up there. Crushed that. Did the one thing I wasn't supposed to do. That's a fatty. So I just had one come up there and crush the glide bait. It looked like over 4. And threw my little worm back in there. And this guy came out and got it. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the same fish. I mean, that's a good one. That's a 2.5 probably. That's weighing. Let's get it. Sorry about the audio, guys. Trying to charge up my phone right now. That is a 271. 271. Solid fish though. A little fatty. That might be a little female. Thanks, buddy. That was a lot of fun. That was not the same fish. You guys are still there. Gosh dang. Maybe it was the same fish. I just got super excited, bro. At least we caught an 8. I'm gonna go up there and try to get close to this. guys. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit better. I do know we got still some good wind, so. But if you guys just tuned in, I decided to come over to the other side of the lake to get into some wind because we caught a good fish on a glide bait and had another one miss it. And now we've had 1, 2, 3 fish on this bait and 2 of them missed it. I was able to catch a fish. I'm not sure if it was the same fish on a follow-up bait, which was just a floating worm. But I'm gonna fish this bait all the way up to basically the mouth of this pocket, and then I'm gonna end the live stream. So I charge up the phone for a little bit, and we're just gonna try to catch us. Hopefully, I'm just hoping for one more big bite. I think the problem with the fish that I lost, or that I missed, was that I saw them both. They both came out of the water to eat that bait. And when you're visually watching it go down, sometimes you feel them too quick, or you see them too quick before you should really set the hook. And I think no matter how long I've been doing this, that's something that is always, with a topwater bait, it's really easy to do. It's just harder with the glide. Got one. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, come on, somebody. Dude, corked it. I mean, corked it. Look at the deal on that guy. That's weird. See, now that fish came up and, I mean, choked it, like down the throat, gone. That's a good one. Whew, that was a fun bite. Look at that. Solid one. Look at this thing. I don't know if this guy was hit by a prop or a fish, but he's got a double scar here and a big one on the side. Make sure you guys are still hanging around with me. That was freaking awesome. I'm gonna weigh this guy real quick and get him back in the water. I feel like that might be about the size of that one we caught earlier. So 352. 352 on the chop block, engulfed it, gone down the hatch. Thanks, buddy. Oh, that's fun. That is so much fun. I think the big deal was just getting in some wind. Got in some wind. And they crushing it, man. I'm missing some though. I'm missing some. If you guys are just tuning in, we've been live for a couple hours. And really the last probably 20 to 30 minutes have been the most exciting. So if you guys want to look back through this, that's what I would suggest doing, watching the last 20 or 30 minutes. I did catch a big one on a glide bait earlier, and then just caught another good one. So for this lake, for Ohio, those are big ones. You know, this lake is capable of 20-pound bags. It doesn't happen all the time. A lot of times if you catch 15 to 17, you're in the money. So I've got 3 over 2.5 and 2 3.5 pounders. I mean, we're putting a little dent in them. To me, this is truly the easiest way to catch a big one is the Berkeley chop block or like a mag draft style bait. Oh, that was fun. Holy cow. We're on a super pressured body of water here in Ohio. Super pressured. For those of you watching along, you know where I am. You probably know what pocket I'm in. I don't want to say it though, because I just don't. Now my bait's all messed up. We got about another 100 yards of fish, and then I'm going to shut the live down. Fishing an 8-inch Berkeley chop block right now. 20-pound fluorocarbon, 7.5-foot rod. This is actually a medium heavy. Fast action. It's a little bit different than my typical glide bait rods. With a lot of hard glide baits, I like a parabolic bend. But when it's a soft glide, I feel like the dynamic between your treble hooks is just different. And I like a fast action, at least a mod fast. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. If not, then it's pointless. Tell you what, both the 3-pound plus fish, the 3.5, literally the bait disappeared. Like I'm working it, I see a big flash and it's completely gone. Oh geez. If you guys wouldn't mind, go check out the Fin Fishing Apparel. It's the best way to help support this channel, help me keep doing lives. For those of you guys that don't know, it's a company I named after my son, my oldest. But I have 2 other boys that I'm gonna have to name companies after them too, so let's just say be on the lookout. I feel like most of my bites have been the middle of the pocket to the back. We talked about that a little bit. I feel like if I can get a bite towards the mouth of the pocket, it's gonna be a big one. You know what I mean? Like a fish that's just moving in. I don't think that's where I'm not getting a lot of bites or action in there. I think there's an opportunity to catch a smallmouth towards the mouth. But we're not really targeting smallmouth. Water really got muddy right through here. Dirt off color, I should say, not muddy, but. All right. Let's see if you guys are still there. Which looks like you are. Hey, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end this thing. I just wanna say thank you guys for tuning along. If you wanna see the most action in this video, the last like 45 minutes of the day was where most of the action occurred, but a lot of fun doing these. Hope you guys are enjoying them. Please let me know down below. And look, I'll see you guys in the next one. Now I'm gonna cut this thing out. I'm still here because I don't know how to shut it off. It's my first time. Not really, but